Today on Inside Houston Real Estate, we are in historic Riverside Terrace featuring a beautiful, newly built custom home just listed 5 days ago. Built by Smith Custom Home Builders and Hearthstone Homes. They are known for their exceptional design, unique designs, and we have previously featured them on the channel before, and you're gonna absolutely love this home. I wanna give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Deshia Denby of Braden Real Estate Group, for allowing this tour to take place. Her contact information can be found below in the description. So before we take you inside, let's talk about the exterior of this home. Morgan, I absolutely love the exterior. I just mentioned that they're known for their exceptional and unique designs. I love the contrast of the white stucco with the black trim. But what I really want to point out, folks, is this is the first time on the channel we have seen this type of tile surrounding the garage or even on the exterior facade of the home. I love the black garage door along with the windows on each side. You can hardly see in, but you can definitely see out when you're on the inside. The landscaping is very nicely done. And folks, it's the little touches like the stone here with the rocks in between. It adds a nice pop to the front elevation. All right, Morgan, let's go towards the front of the house. And as we walk this way, pan up to the ceiling because there's some beautiful wood paneling that goes along the top here. I also want to point out the coach lighting here. This is very nice design. And on the outside front here, folks, you have a front patio area. It's covered, you have ample lighting, you have more coach lights. And as you can see, we're going to take you inside, but this downstairs room, which they're featuring as a study, is also a bedroom, and you have two really nice steel and glass doors that lead out to the front of the house. All right, let's go inside. All right, welcome inside. As you're coming in, you'll notice you have a very nice large pivot door here, steel and glass. I absolutely love pivot doors. Morgan, come on inside. And once here, what I want to point out is that the design is really thoughtfully done. They really maximize the windows in here. So above the pivot door, you have a nice linear window there. These are approximately, I'd say 11-foot high ceilings in the entry. You have 8-foot high door frames. Now, before we go any further, let me give you the specs. This home is 4 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 3,411 square feet. The lot is 6,434 square feet. And this home was just listed 5 days ago for $1,049,000. All right, Morgan, immediately to the right, you are featuring this area as a study / office, but this is technically a bedroom. So depending on your needs as a family, you decide how you want to use this room. But you can see you have the double doors, as I mentioned earlier, that lead out to the front. So this could absolutely be a great guest room. You have a nice sized closet right here. And when we close this off, you can see you come in here, you have a full bath. I love the choice of materials here. You have LED lit mirrors, nice countertops. I love this bowl type sink here. And Morgan, if you come a little further, you can see you have a stand-up shower here, large shower head. You have the shower niches and this subway tile in black, contrasting with the white, and the black mud set tile here is really nice. All right, follow me in a little bit further. And I just want to point out that you have some additional storage under the stairs here. And so once again, thoughtful design, really maximizing storage space. All right, so now we're back in the entry. I love the width of the entry. You have nice sized walls. So if you have some art, like you can see here, there's plenty of space to hang your art and collectibles. The choice of lighting fixtures throughout this home is exceptional and very unique. Now, before we take you upstairs, obviously we're going to cover this first floor. So let's start here with the living room area. Really spacious. And the highlight, there's actually a couple of highlights here. One, we have to talk about the chandelier hanging down. That is absolutely beautiful. And Morgan, as you pan up, you can see there's a tray ceiling up there with additional LED lights, and they painted the inside of the tray black. So it continues with the theme of black and white throughout this home. Also, let's talk about this long linear fireplace, and you have this beautiful marble surround going up. Absolutely large TV here. What do you think about this presentation here, Morgan?
I think it's beautiful. It's very bright and just very bright. There's a lot of white. There's a lot of black going on in here, so I do like that.
Right. I think you mentioned earlier it kind of gave you some Miami vibes
Yes,
when you come inside.
especially with the tile flooring that they chose.
Right. And then if you look, folks, on the wall here where the TV is, you have windows bookending the side of the TV. And then if you go up even further, you have 3 more windows. So the design really allows a lot of natural light to flood into this home. All right, let me make my way around here and let's talk about the kitchen, because I think the kitchen is absolutely beautiful. I love the choice of the countertops. Now, we are used to seeing on this channel, folks, islands, but this is a unique design because you have kind of a smaller kitchen island here where the sink is, but then it drops down, and instead of having a breakfast nook in the house, you can do all of your dining right here. This is attached to this smaller island where the sink is. You have beautiful pendant lights hanging down above the countertop and above the table here. I think this is a job well done. And then as we turn around here, beautiful backsplash, beautiful countertops, all of your drawers and cabinets are in soft close. And once again, with the theme of black and white, they painted the uppers black. And so this is nice, very nicely done. All right, let's step further into the kitchen. You can see that the cabinets here go up to the ceiling practically. And then here above this one, there's more windows at the top, allowing some more natural light to come in. You have a beautiful, beautiful range. This is a 6-burner with a griddle. And actually, let's call this an 8-burner because this is just an appliance piece right here. So you have an 8-burner range, a pot filler, which is one of the favorite things I see on the channel. And I love the choice of the vent hood here. It's sleek, it's sexy. It's just a beautiful presentation here. And we must talk about this Forno range. I think we've only seen this range one other time on the channel. I absolutely love it. You also have a full backsplash that's going from the countertop going all the way up to the ceiling, not just to underneath the cabinets. You have under cabinet lighting. And Morgan, as you work your way inside, you have a black front dishwasher here. Beautiful sink. Now this is interesting because it's kind of like a farmhouse sink, but it's stainless. I love the choice of the hardware. What more can we say? You have a microwave that's built in right here. So folks, leave us a message in the comments. Could you see yourself cooking and entertaining in this space? I think you could. Let us know. Here to the side, you have your pantry, and this is a nice size. If you wanted to, you could build extra shelving. You might not be able to reach them, but plenty of room for your canned goods, your cereal, and what have you. All right. And then as we wrap our way around the kitchen, you'll notice there is a wine refrigerator right here. So everything you need to entertain is perfectly placed and positioned in this kitchen. All right. Now, you also have what I'm going to call your formal dining area. You can set this up obviously how you like. If you're the type of family that entertains a lot and Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter dinners and things, this is a great place for that. And then if you notice the line of lighting, this is a larger version of what's hanging above the kitchen island and the kitchen countertop table there. Now, Morgan, I want to point out as we work our way back around here, I believe, and I was correct, there's also cabinet space under here, and I didn't want to miss that because a lot of times people feel they don't have enough cabinet space, so there's cabinets going all the way down, 3 cabinets there. So for your more maybe, seasonal items that you use in your kitchen for cooking, big pots, pans, things of that nature, there's a great place for them there. And also, it's duplicated on this side of the island. There's additional cabinets underneath here as well. All right, so that wraps up basically the living area, the dining area, the kitchen. And while we're here, let's take you this way. And you have a really nice mudroom area here. that leads into your laundry room. And I'm going to call this a utility room because you have cabinets and you also have a sink, and they're using the same countertops that you've seen in the kitchen. So what more do you need for a laundry room? I think the positioning of this is nice because it's kind of out of the way. And then let's take you inside the garage. But before we go inside, I want to point out the doors. Very nice solid doors. You have 6 panels here. That is 6 actually. Yep, it's 6 panels. So not just a plain old door. It has some design element to it. We'll step into the garage, and folks, you know, don't pay attention too much here. We actually moved the garbage can and the blocks from the driveway inside so we can film the outside of the house. But you can see that the epoxy coating has been done in here. You have a tankless water heater, which is nice, so that's very efficient. And you also have some built-in shelving right here. This is a nice garage. And while we're here, I also want to point out that you have it's either a 220 or a 240 volt outlet. So if you have an EV vehicle, electric vehicle, Tesla or any of the other brands that are out there, you can plug in right here in your garage. You don't have to worry about going to supercharger stations. All right, so follow me into the primary bedroom. Folks, definitely leave us a message in the comments as to what your thoughts are as you see this room. The first thing I want to point out is you have a king size bed, plenty of room for nightstands on either side. And here off to the left, you have a beverage/wine refrigerator, beautiful countertops. Also, you have nice soft close cabinetry here and a cupboard space. But the highlight of this bedroom has got to be this fireplace and the whole surround wall that goes up. Folks, look at the length. This is the same as what we saw in the living area, going all the way across. I don't know, Morgan, that's got to be about 8-9 feet across. Beautifully done. And the fact that the marble tile goes all the way up to the ceiling. You have your outlets here and your cable so you can hang your flat screen. In addition to that, you have a door that leads out to the backyard, and we're going to get to that in a second. Now, I think you have a really beautifully done bathroom. Morgan, I'm going to do this real quick. You have very nice doors, double doors that lead into your primary bath. And Morgan, step inside. Look at this spa, standalone tub, shower area. Now, I'm going to step inside because I just have to. So you have 2 shower heads here. You have attachments, handhelds on both. And that's magnetic, so it pops right in there. You also have additional jets right here, so you can hit your body from every angle. You have this nice niche here for your shampoo bottles, conditioner, what have you. I like the fact that they did this tile, subway tile in a vertical pattern here. But the standalone tub is really long. A lot of times we see these standalone tubs, Morgan, they aren't quite as long as this.
I would also say how deep it is too.
It is, you're right. It's very deep, and you also have more niches here for shampoos and what have you. So I think this is beautifully done. And I also love the contrast. So you have this subway tile in a vertical pattern going up on this side, and then on the opposite side, you have a full white, and I believe that's a porcelain tile that goes literally from floor to ceiling, wrapping around. Really nice. All right, stepping inside, you have tons of cabinet space here. And then one of my favorite features, you can put your hamper here. And you don't even need to open this until you need to take your clothes out, and you drop your dirty clothes right here. Nice design. You have dual vanities here, or basin sinks, LED lit mirrors, nice vanity lighting, and once again, you have your linear windows above that, allowing that light to flow in. And one thing I must say, you do have a large picture window here in the spa shower area. You're probably gonna have to do some type of tint on that unless you just are into voyeurism and exhibitionism. Anyway, I didn't need to go there, but anyway, let's go this way. You have your water closet here. And I will point out that you have 8-foot doors here as well. And then my wife and I had come here the other day, And she actually liked this closet. And for her, she wants something bigger, but this is nicely done. Same light fixture series that we saw in the dining room as well as the kitchen above the island. But a lot of shelves, a lot of hanging space. And on the island, Morgan, you can stay there. You have plenty of drawers. So you have 6 drawers on this side. And as you can see, those are on soft close as well. And you have another 6 on the opposite side. So you really don't have a need to use a lot of dressers. And then I love the fact that they put a mirror here. So when you're getting ready in the morning, you can take a look at yourself before you leave and off to work, off to wherever you're going. All right, follow me this way. Before we head up to the second floor, let's take a look at the backyard. Starting with this really cool door, steel and glass. It looks like a sliding door, folks, but it's not. It actually accordions. So this goes like this. This middle section pops in, and then you can slide this all the way down. This is a really cool, unique door. We don't see these very often. I think we did see it on his last build that we featured. So stepping outside, you have a really nice size rear covered patio. You have the same wood paneling on the ceiling here that it was featured in the front covered porch area. I love the black window frames, which we also saw in the front of the house. And then Morgan, just here behind you or to your side, you have your gas stub out and you have your water line. So if you want to do an outdoor kitchen, this is a perfect place to do that. Also in the ceiling, I see that there are some pre-wires if you want to do some surround sound out here as well. And then folks, this door here, it's still locked, but this was the primary bedroom right here. So let's take a look at the backyard. You have a nice little, I'm going to call this kind of like a dog run, if you will, but you have the stones leading to the front of the yard. And then this is a decent size. Remember, folks, the lot is only 6,434 square feet. So if you don't want a lot of maintenance and a lot of grass to cut, this is perfect. There's enough room to get a nice sized pool back here and really eliminate all of the grass if you chose to do so. While we're here, Morgan, I want to point up to the soffit. You can see that you have down lighting in the soffit, and that wraps around the entire house, including the front. All right, let's head back inside. Okay, so let's head upstairs. The first thing I want to point out is that you have wood stairs and you have stair lighting going along the right side. And then let's talk about this steel railing going all the way up. I believe this is custom, but it absolutely allows for the openness of the home to continue. All right, Morgan, follow me upstairs. And there's some little things I want to point out. So you can see we're standing on nice wood stairs, but when you get to the landing, the wood actually changes. So there's a slight contrast. I think that's a nice design touch. You have windows here along the stairs going up, and a large picture window, and I guess I shouldn't really call it a picture window, but there's a large window at the top, once again allowing light to come through. And the choice of the light fixtures, I absolutely love it. Folks, we're here in the daytime, obviously, so you can't really see the statement that these lights make at night, but these are beautiful. Really nice choice of design here. All right, coming back up, the flooring changes up here to what we saw on the landing of the stairwell. Look at the railing wrapping all the way around. So Morgan, let's take a look from there. You can see you have a beautiful display of the first floor from here on the landing on this loft area. And you can get a close-up of the light fixture, the chandelier hanging down, and how they painted black paint inside the tray here. Just beautifully done. Up here, folks, you have 2 bedrooms and 2 more baths and a media room. So let's start here with secondary bedroom number, I'm going to call this number 2, because the office study downstairs technically is a bedroom if you want to use it that way. And you do have an ensuite. I also want to point out that on the second floor, you also have 8-foot high door frames, and that's unique. A lot of times developers will go a little bit lower with the ceiling heights and go to a traditional 6'8" door frame. All right, step inside. You have your closet right here. And then this is a nice touch right here. You have built-in shelving. And as we come through into the bathroom, we're gonna let you come in. Really nicely done shower. This is reminiscent of the shower that we saw downstairs. Same tile on the floors, nice subway tile laid in a vertical pattern. You have your shower niches, and you even have a bench seat in here. I love it. Nice countertops, 2 sinks. Now this is rare, folks. A lot of times you're only gonna have 1 sink. And let's also point out that there is under cabinet lighting here. So once again, at nighttime, this house really pops with all of the lighting. All right, let's work our way this way. And so right here, you have this little landing, obviously, when we came up on the 2nd floor. I want to point out, Martin, you also have an electrical outlets built into the floor here. So whatever you have up here, this could be an area where you might even have a treadmill or a Peloton bike or something that needs to plug in. You have an outlet there on the floor built in, really nice. All right, this I'm gonna consider to be your game room area, really spacious. And here in the corner, you have a closet with shelving built in. But let's take a look at this balcony. And Morgan, it's probably gonna take me forever to get all these doors open. And I don't even know if I'm gonna, I guess I'll try real quick. But folks, this is the same type of door that was downstairs off of the living area. And I'm not gonna open all these up, but you guys get the idea. It's an accordion type door that goes all the way across. But this is a really spacious balcony. You can get a lot of furniture out here. You have an outlet there. That beautiful tile that we saw in the front of the house, in which we technically are again on the front of the house, just on the 2nd floor, is here. The same type of coach lighting. I love the design of this home. I think it's very unique.
It's beautiful.
All right, stepping back inside. Let me close this off. All right, so let's work our way this way. And here is secondary bedroom number 3, which is technically the 4th bedroom. And I want to point out that these bedrooms are actually very good size. You know, a lot of times you go into these homes, the secondary bedrooms are small, but you can see here, you could still do a king size bed in this room. I like the choice of the ceiling fans, kind of a really sleek design. You have a built-in closet here. And let's work our way this way. And I'm gonna close this off for a second. So you have an ensuite bathroom. Once again, same counters, tiling in the shower, but instead of a stand-up shower here, you have a tub shower combination. And Morgan, let's work our way back this way. And we have one last surprise for you folks, and that is there is a media room here on the 2nd floor. So when you step in, you have a nice beverage and wine refrigerator, cabinets up top, and then step inside. And this is what we're seeing in a lot of these media rooms now as they are painted black. The walls, the ceilings, everything, because you want to have a pitch black room when you're watching movies. Nice sconce lighting on the walls. And the other thing that they did is they built up 2 levels here. So if you're going to put love seats or chairs, they're tiered up just like you're in a movie theater. So that is a job well done. Folks, leave us a message in the comments what you think about the design of this home, the choice of finishes, and just the layout in general. I really think, like Morgan said earlier, it gives a lot of Miami type vibes. I could see this being on the water in Miami. And if it were,
Oh, yeah.
it wouldn't be $1,049,000, it'd be $10,049,000. So this is a nice house in historic Riverside Terrace. So that concludes our tour of this beautiful custom-built home by Smith Custom Home Builders and Hearthstone Homes. If you'd like to see this home in person, definitely reach out. Our contact information is below. We can arrange a private tour. Hit that like button, comment, let us know what your favorite features of this house were, and definitely hit that subscribe button. Folks, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.